All right, everyone. Originally, Trump wanted Mexico to be what's called a safe third country, and it's right now the dynamic in the Americas. The reason why we have so many applicants for asylum seeking and so many migrants and things like that, and the reason why we can't deport people properly, is because there's no other country south of us in the region that's capable of taking asylum seekers. There's no safe third country. None of them have signed on to, basically the compacts that the world uses to determine refugee movements. We're the only one that did. I think Canada did, but we're their only physical neighbor, so, sucks to be us, I suppose. We can get refugees from Canada the next time there's a maple syrup shortage, and they'll be, starving, street urchins and widows and stuff. They'll come to the border singing alms for the poor and be like, okay, well, you're basically American anyway, so who cares? But, yeah. Guatemala, though, might sign on to the to this migration compact, which means there's a safe third country, which means we don't have to deal with asylum seekers nearly as much anymore. It would be great because anyone from points south, they have to go to Guatemala. They can't apply here. What does this mean for those that are already in this country from places like Colombia, Venezuela, Guyana, Peru, Ecuador, Panama, Nicaragua, and places like that, or Cuba, arguably, maybe Haiti. I'm not sure about if it's an island. Like if there's a maritime border, is it whichever nation is geographically closer? I don't know. With Haiti, I'm not sure which one would be. Anyway, they'll all be going there. What do we do with people, several million of them, that are already in this country that are under, such claims? They're illegally here now. They can be deported to Guatemala. And Guatemala will deal with it gladly as long as they're given some subsidies. Much easier than dealing with it here, since Congress apparently won't even allow us to administer existing law. It's astonishing to me. How exactly, by the way, are the courts even letting Congress get away with preventing existing law from being utilized? The courts are too, the Ninth Circuit specifically. We've got deportation policies that conform to these compacts, and yet we're not implementing them. It was always fine before 2016. All of a sudden, once 2016 happened, that particular power of the U.S. government magically went away. Just like Congress finally got off its ass and did what it should have done years and years ago, which is strip the president of unilateral combat authority. That happened, I think, 2 months ago, where they said, okay, we're going to restrict the president's ability to wage war under some of these sort of emergency auspices that we've given presidents over time. Oh, it took you several fucking administrations to realize that was a bad idea. I can remember when some of those authorizations of force were issued in 2001, 2002. And they're like, oh my God, sky is falling, little Jimmy's scared, we have to go let Bush bomb people. And they never rescinded it all through Bush, despite the fact that he's a fucking war-happy moron chucklehead. Obama gets in. He loves war arguably even more. He's just more covert about it. He prefers to get his boner on watching drone strike footage. They never do anything about it. The only time that they stood up to him was when they, simultaneous to the House of Commons, by the way, the UK, in the face of, what's-his-name, the fart holder that was in charge before Theresa May was, Cameron, I think I don't know. And then they defeated his plan to strike Syria. Then Trump gets in, ignores them, strikes them anyway, and finally they get off their ass and do something about it because they're worried about a war with Iran. One that's never going to materialize. Look, Trump came out the other day and said, oh, it's really just a minor issue. We're not making any plans to do anything about it over the Iran attacking some oil tankers thing. Well then, crisis averted. Number one, very happy about that because we don't need war. Saner heads than Bolton's and Pompeo's, I guess, prevailed there. And number two, the Democrats were all flustered and thought, well, World War III is here. Well, I could have told you that was unlikely. Thankfully, did I not say it was unlikely that Trump would do particularly anything bad about it and that it was all bluster? It's like a yearly exercise. The U.S. and Iran trade a couple of blows and some diplomatic jabs, and that's about it. It just keeps happening over and over. It's opportunistic Shakespearean bullshit. As far as deporting people, here's the thing. I think there are plenty of people in this country, technically illegally. They've already assimilated. They got brought here on someone's back when they were 2 or something. I would show them leniency. But as far as people who have sought asylum, they're here technically under refugee auspices. They no longer qualify for that. There will be a safe third country once Guatemala, I think, inks the pen, so to speak. I don't know that they have yet. I think it's planned for within days, if I remember correctly. So there you go. For those of you who are like, build the wall, deport them all, and stuff like that. Yeah, you just got what you wanted. And you're also getting border defense. It's just that Trump literally had to go around Congress to get Mexico to do it. It's amazing. The Latin American countries that for so long, many decades, have stonewalled any example of the U.S. attempting to defend its southern border. A bunch of states in Central America are doing more to defend the U.S. border than our own Congress. That is a problem. Never happened before. Congress and every president before always talked a big game about wanting to close the border, build the wall, deport people who were here illegally, crack down on migrant crimes. All of them said the same fucking shit that Trump's saying he's the only one getting results, and he can't even do it through them. He can't. He has to go before SCOTUS and get obstructionists within his own fucking party in the Senate to sign on, and can't get that accomplished. But he can get Mexico and Guatemala to do it. Foreign states through executive level diplomacy. Good on him. In fact, I think it's almost more of an accomplishment the way he's doing it. He's showing the American people, hey, look, your own government, by and large, doesn't fucking care about you. Doesn't care about workers. Doesn't care about unemployment levels. Doesn't care about the migrants. Wants them to wander all the way across Mexico instead of establishing a safe third state. Would the Democrats have ever gotten Guatemala to do this? Would they have ever even suggested it? No, they want the migrants here because they see them as potential voters. And the Republicans don't want to crack down on it, although they say it openly that they do in a half-assed way for political reasons. They want to use them as slave labor for their sweatshops, for their under-the-table operations, for that dark aspect of the economy that just isn't fully taxed. That's what they want, to make their business partners more fucking money. Shame on the Republicans just as much as the Democrats on that one historically. That's about all. Peace out.